Thanks again for staying with us. Let's talk about the President, Bola Tinubu, rejigging his list of nominees for the Southeast Development Commission. That's the SEDC board. Now he's replaced the initial chairman, and some of the present nominees include Honorable Mark Okoye, Stanley Ohajuruka, and Toby Okechukwu. President Tinubu says he expects the new nominees as pioneers to use their wealth of experience and expertise to actualize the Commission's mandate and develop the Southeast region. Well, despite these selections, some persons from the region have voiced concerns regarding the composition of the Commission's board and management. Well, let's get to hear what Ifeanyi Ibezi makes of all of this. He is an APC chieftain and a former lawmaker. He joins us via... Of course, he joins us from our Abuja studio. We thank you very much for joining us on TVC Breakfast. So what do you make of this latest nominations?
Thank you for having me this morning.
By the President. It's good to have you join us once again. You're welcome. What do you make of these selections by the President, these nominations by the President?
If you recall, I was in this studio about a month ago or thereabout. I commended the President for taking the bold step to assent into law the Southeast Development Commission bill as passed by the National Assembly. Let me also use this medium to commend Mr. President for taking this bold step after over 50 years of neglect of the Southeast region of Nigeria. He took that bold step to sign the Southeast Development Commission bill. I also want to use this medium to thank members of the National Assembly, especially the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, for also taking that bold step to see to the actualization of the passage of this bill. Recall that it is the prerogative of the President to appoint anybody he so wish to occupy any position, as long as the person is qualified to be in that position. Yes, I must also commend the President for the appointment of the board and management of the Southeast Development Commission. Although we have as members of the APC in Anambra State, and also myself, have a strong reservation on that appointment.
Would you like to share them? What are your reservations?
My reservation is that I recall during the presidential campaign, and the President told us, members of APC at various levels, I was the candidate of the party for the House of Representatives in 2023 general election. And the President, I want to quote his word, the President says that power is not served as a la carte, that you have to work hard, you have to go for it, you have to work for it, you have to grab it, and you have to run for it. And I want to boldly say here that I took the words of Mr. President down to Anambra, and we all worked so hard in Anambra State to ensure that Mr. President got a reasonable vote, especially in my local government, Idemili North, where I gave Mr. President the highest vote in Anambra State. And don't forget the fact that the then presidential candidate of Labour Party come from the same senatorial zone. I gave Mr. President the highest vote in Idemili North and the second largest vote, Idemili South. And I feel that some of us who are overqualified to occupy that position should be considered earlier before now. And also don't forget the fact that in the 9th Assembly, I was the person that brought up this bill for onward presentation before the House in plenary. And the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, gave his nod for the presentation of this bill. So members of APC in Anambra State are not really happy because all these appointments are going to the opposition party. The managing director of this commission is a member of the ruling party in Anambra State, the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA in Anambra State. And we feel that as members of the ruling party, the APC, we feel neglected and we are not happy about it.
Mr. Ibeze, are you saying that wider consultations were not made before this appointment were made by the president? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So tell us more.
I listened to the interview of the zonal vice chairman of our great party in the Southeast in this studio, where he said that the president asked them to go and consult widely in selection or in selecting members of the board and management of this commission. There was never a time a meeting was called in this regard. And he mentioned that major stakeholders of the party was consulted. And we became worried in Anambra State, who was among the stakeholders or leadership of the Southeast that attended the meeting, and where was this meeting held, and who signed off, because he brought up a document that was signed by leaders of the party from various states in the Southeast. And we became worried that we needed to know who signed off for Anambra State, because none of us was aware of such a meeting and where that meeting was held, especially the likes of me, who worked so hard to ensure that Mr. President got a reasonable vote in Anambra State. I have with me here the result of the presidential election as conducted in Anambra State. And if you go through this document, you will find out that I gave Mr. President and our great party in Anambra State the highest vote in Idemili North. That is where the president got his highest vote in Anambra State. So nobody consulted anybody in Anambra State. And we feel neglected and we feel sidelined and embarrassed in this recent development.
But other stakeholders from the region are also, speaking about the list, this list before us, in the SEDC board. They're saying that appointees or no appointments have been made for Imo and Ebonyi states, for example. This, according to them, is against the spirit of the law establishing the commission. What do you make of that of that stance, especially as peace and stability remains, the priorities, the main priorities for the southeastern region?
From that statement, you begin to imagine and agree with me that there was no wider consultation as regards to getting the stakeholders to contribute to the nomination as made. If Imo State and Ebonyi State members of the commission was omitted, whose fault is that? If there was a wider consultation on the appointment of the board and management, these issues will not arise. So one will begin to imagine where this meeting was held and why was nominee from Imo State and Abia State omitted, not to talk of Anambra State. In all the appointments so far made by this government, non-APC member in Anambra State have been appointed in this present government. So I wouldn't know where that meeting was held. I wouldn't know those who are complaining that their names were omitted. But I want to say that it is the prerogative of the president to appoint whoever he wants. And if the law establishing the Southeast Development Commission is violated, there is need to look at it and address some of these issues. Although the list is before the Senate for confirmation. So I think we need to look at it the second time and see that these omissions are corrected before the confirmation of the nominee.
Let me put you on a pause at the moment. We've had other stakeholders on this matter saying that wider consultations were made by the president before these appointments were made. Are you saying this because some of your members are not on that list? That's why you are now categorically saying that the presidency has not done well in appointing these people.
No, I don't want to talk about the appointment made by the president. Like I said, it is the prerogative of the president to appoint whoever he wants. And if they said that wider consultations were made across the 5 states of the Southeast, so be it. The president have announced his appointees. I have no right to question the decision of the president. But what I am saying is that for we in Anambra State, APC in Anambra State, we are not carried along. We have not been considered in any appointment. Not even one. Not even one.
All right.
Those that have been appointed...
Honorable, I believe you have made that position clear.
So far are members of the opposition party, the ABGA in Anambra State. And that is what
so you are pushing for more representations, especially from the ruling APC. I believe you have made that clear, but then let's also look at how this can impede the clamor for peace and stability in the southeastern region. With what has happened now, for the regular man of the street, on the street in that region, it could be argued that, okay, but then what next? How will this translate? They are asking, they are yearning for better development of the region. So what are your thoughts on how this can become a reality?
Well, if we are going out of the appointment and management of the board of this commission, I want to say that the establishment of the commission, first and foremost, have brought about reconciliation, reconstruction, and rehabilitation of the region. It's going to bring about rapid infrastructural development for the people of the region. And I keep commending Mr. President. That is why I believe in Mr. President, and I believe in his school of thought. And I have been in his school of thought since the days of Advanced Congress of Democrats, Action Congress, and Action Congress of Nigeria. Nobody has done it for the region, and we must continue to appreciate Mr. President.
But with these controversies on ground, is it likely to impede the work of the committee, of the commission, with this controversy on ground regarding appointments and all?
Not at all, not at all. I can tell you for that, not at all. We embrace the establishment of this commission, and we're going to give them all the necessary cooperation they need to take off.
So what are the developments that you're expecting in the Southeast? Just a moment, Mr. Ibezi. What are the developments that you are expecting in the Southeast with this commission being established?
I have mentioned about it. It's going to bring about rapid infrastructural development in the whole of the 5 states in the Southeast. We have our peculiarities in different states. In Anambra State, we need infrastructural development in terms of road infrastructure, and also in terms of the erosion have eaten deep into the small you know, in Anambra State, after Lagos, Anambra is the next smallest state in terms of landmarks in Nigeria. So I believe the Southeast Development Commission will focus on tackling issue of erosion, gully erosion in Anambra State, and as well as other areas in the whole of Southeast. And I believe this commission will bring about infrastructural development, especially training of the youths across the whole 5 states of the Southeast region.
The security situation in the Southeast is something that is still worrisome at the moment. What are those things or your advice to residents of that state, to those who are agitating in that particular state, with this commission being established by the president?
Well, I think issue of security, I don't think is within the purview of the Southeast Development Commission. At the moment, the governors of the Southeast region, Anambra State, Enugu State, Ebonyi State, Abia State, and Imo State is doing their best in that regard. I don't think it's within the purview of the commission to look at that. But by the time they will take off,
just a moment. If the commission is bringing in more infrastructural developments in that state, don't you consider that vis-a-vis the security situation in that region?
I don't think security situation in that region has anything to do with infrastructural development. I don't think. But,
well, that position, your position is actually, different from what many people are saying. If the security situation there is not improved, how then are we going to have, all these indices for a development? But anyway, it's your thought, it's your opinion, and you're very. The
governors are doing everything within their reach.
Okay, but
the governors are working very hard.
Right. Okay, but under this new dispensation and that we see on ground, what are your thoughts behind, governors of the region embracing further the Ebube Agu policy? That was a regional security option, but that has largely stumbled. There haven't been much, successes with that. What are we likely to see moving forward?
If you recall, I think day before yesterday, there was a NEC meeting held in Abuja here, where all the governors, virtually all the governors, agreed for the establishment of state police. And I agree with them that if state police, if governors are given the opportunity and the mandate and all the states to establish their own state police, an issue of this insecurity across the federation will be tackled. So issue of Ebubago that was intentionally in the last 3 years by the governors to establish it couldn't see the light of the day, and I don't know why. But with this upcoming development about state police, I think that will help in tackling issue of insecurity, especially in the Southeast.
Right, and okay, so let's take you back to that point, while we still have you here, so that you get your opportunity to explain further your stance on development or infrastructural development and security. Help us understand your position.
Well, my position about infrastructural development as it concerns Southeast, I can tell you that the governors are doing well. Most of the governors are doing well. And in terms of issue of security or insecurity in the Southeast, it is not something the governors can do alone, can handle alone. We need the intervention of the federal government, especially in Anambra State. We have a massive insecurity situation in Anambra State. And it's not something the governor of the state can handle alone. We need intervention of the federal government in order to tackle the issue of insecurity in the Southeast and also across the entire federation. So that's my take.
On the move for the Southeast Development Commission, we saw yesterday that some Southeast lawmakers paid a solidarity visit to the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu. All of this on this commission. What do you make about this vis-a-vis all of that development coming from that region?
Well, like I said in the beginning of this program, I must sincerely thank the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu. The solidarity visit that was paid to him yesterday was in line with what I'm saying here. He made extra effort in seeing to the actualization of the Southeast Development Bill as passed by the House of Representatives and the Senate. And he has worked day and night to see that this bill is assented by Mr. President and that the takeoff of this commission is actualized. So I'm also thanking him for all his efforts in this regard. And that is why you see members of the House of Representatives from the Southeast region paying him a solidarity visit because they acknowledge his effort in this regard.
Do you think that, just a moment, Kemi, let me quickly just ask this before you come in. Do you feel or think that the solidarity visits will bring an end to the agitations from some aggrieved party members on the Southeast Development Commission?
Well, I may not speak so much about these agitations because I don't know where they are coming from. It is an internal thing, and I believe that it's going to be resolved, whatever issue on the table.
All right.
I think at the end of the day, we're going to resolve it.
Right, and on a final note, but it's related to Emmanuel's, earlier last questions, talking about, this these issues over the president's latest, nominations. Some stakeholders are also saying that, the impact of Benjamin Kalu is also somewhat at odds with that of Governor Hope Uzodimma, that is essentially essentially a power struggle between Governor Uzodimma and Honorable Kalu. Is that how you see it?
Well, it's important for us to look at these issues beyond issue of having an interface. Benjamin Kalu, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, is the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives and is from the Southeast. Then Governor Hope Uzodimma is the governor of Imo State and the leader of the party in the Southeast. These issues are not in contention. Whatever is the situation, which I don't have full knowledge about, I can assure you as a party and as a people from the Southeast region, we're going to resolve it and we're going to come out stronger.
We thank you very much, Honorable Ifeanyi Ibezi, APC chieftain and former lawmaker. Thanks a lot for speaking with us.